Good evening, everybody. Sean Money Outdoor Adventures. Hey, I thought I'd take just a couple minutes to talk to you about a couple of the bows that I own that I'm going to be hunting with this fall. Like so many of you, I grew up out in the country as a kid in Arkansas. I live in Oklahoma now, but I grew up with a little old red fiberglass Bear recurve, and Dad couldn't keep me in arrows. In fact, he just quit trying to buy me store-bought arrows, and he'd make me some out of river cane. And, you know, I just carried that thing and shot it all the time. And then in my teen years, I bought a compound bow, and I started hunting with a compound bow. And I've killed a lot of white-tailed deer with the compound bow. But about 8 or 10 years ago, I decided I wanted to kill a deer with a recurve. Now, I'd always kept a recurve around for bow fishing, and so I've always bow fished in the off-season and always have enjoyed that. But I wanted to kill a deer with a recurve, so I went over to a local shop. I actually had sold the recurve that I had, which is a Martin Hunter, and I used it for bow fishing, and a guy needed it because he had drawn a archery tag that was a traditional only area, and he wanted that bow, and I sold it to him. I bought a Hoyt Game Master 2, and about 8 or 10 years ago I hunted with it that season. I killed a doe with it, and then just kind of put it up and forgot about it. I went on to shoot several more deer with the compound, and then a few years ago I developed a condition in my eye, my dominant eye, and was forced to have to go to shooting my rifles left-handed, my pistols left-handed, and I couldn't shoot through my peep sight anymore. And so I just kind of quit bow hunting at the level I had been. I got a crossbow, which incidentally I'm not against crossbows, and for the guys that shoot them, I'm glad you're out there hunting. And so I'm for anybody shooting anything that hunts that's legal. I'm just for that. Let me just say that right up front. I kill them with everything. But I didn't like the crossbow, and so last December I got that Game Master 2 back out and strung it up, and just asked the Lord. I said, Lord, just help me. I want to be able to hunt again with the recurve. And so I shot it for a few days and hung a stand, and the last day of December last year I killed a nice big doe with that recurve, and that kind of lit a fire in me. And so I bought off the shelf Black Widow up at Nixa and started shooting it like crazy. And it's this bow. This is a PA. It's a carbon limb bow. It's 42 pounds at 28 inches, and I tuned a set of arrows to it, and I'm going to tell you about that in just a minute. And I turkey hunted with it all spring. I didn't kill a turkey. I could have killed a turkey with the compound bow, no problem. I could have killed a turkey with a shotgun. I could have killed several turkeys with a shotgun. I just never got the deal sealed with the recurve. But I did kill a nice big hog. In fact, I killed 3 hogs this spring with this bow. And it's just a beautifully performing bow. And I tuned this set of arrows to this bow. These are gold tip 500s. Now here's what I learned. I learned compared to that Hoyt, and I've got another old bow, a Samick Sage recurve, that these Black Widows like a little stiffer spine. This 42-pound bow shoots this 500 spine shaft. It is 29 inches long. It's shooting 175 grains up front for a total arrow weight of 475 or 480 grains out of a 42-pound bow. In a minute, we're going to shoot them through a chronograph. I borrowed a chronograph from my friend, and we're going to see what they'll do through the chronograph. But that's the first bow, and I absolutely love it. What this light poundage 42-pound bow did is allowed me to really work on my form and just really put a lot of arrows down range. I then ordered back in December this bow, which I've had now for just a few weeks. This is a PCH Black Widow. It's green leaf, and I ordered everything about it. You can see on the upper limb it says, "May the good Lord be your outfitter and guide." On the bottom limb, it has a white-tailed buck on it. It's green leaf with carbon limbs, and I think it's just absolutely stunning. Now, there's debates all over the internet when you get on there and read, and I could care less about this. Red line or no red line on your Black Widow. Well, look here. Red line, no red line, so I'm in both camps. I wanted this bow here to be just slightly more poundage. It's 45 at 28. It's a 58-inch bow, I'm sorry, as well as the other one. I'm shooting a 400 spine through it. Now, I also have another Black Widow in there, and it's a 50-pound bow, and that one was shooting a 400 spine, shooting a 50-grain insert and 200 grain broadhead up front. Well, what I discovered is this bow will shoot the same arrow with a 50 grain insert, but shoot 175 grain, and it is just like a laser on a bare shaft. Both of these have been bare shaft tuned. And so I thought we'd get out here this evening and shoot both these through this chronograph that I've borrowed. Let's see what they'll do. I plan to really primarily hunt with this PCH. I'm going to take it on an elk hunt. I was going to take that 50-pound bow, but honestly, I just like shooting this bow so much better. I'm going to take this setup elk hunting to Colorado in September, 45 pounds, shooting a 580 grain arrow out of it. I have complete confidence that it will absolutely do the job on an elk. I'm going to also hunt with this other bow some this fall, this 42-pound bow. But this will kind of be the one that I primarily go to, or at least I'll start the season with, and we'll see how it does. So let's go down here. I've got the chronograph set up. Let's go down here, and I'm going to move the camera, and let's see what each of these bows is. Okay, let's start with the 42-pound at 28-inch PA carbon, shooting a 475 grain total arrow weight shaft. Let's see what it'll do through the chronograph. 167.7. 167.7. This is an old chronograph, so you got to turn it back on. It doesn't do all that fancy averaging and all that. Let's shoot it again here. 167 was our first one. 167.7, identical. Well, let's try one more. $166.2. So this bow at 42 pounds, which is about what I'm pulling, shooting a 475 grain arrow, is shooting right at 167 feet a second. Listen, that's about what we would expect out of a recurve, and this is plenty adequate to kill, in my opinion, any North American game. Now, I don't think I'd shoot a grizzly bear with it unless I was just in a pinch, but I mean, this thing right here, for what I hunt here in Oklahoma, of course, will do it all. I shot about a 165-pound sow pig, quartering away from me, and it went in right about the last rib and come out right through the point of her shoulder. Now, it did not go on through into the ground, but it completely penetrated her. You know, there was 8 inches of the shaft sticking out on the other side. And so, it's interesting, 167 feet per second. We're going to get this PCH 45-pound bow shooting a 580 grain arrow, so 100 grains heavier. Let's see what it'll do. Okay, let's try the 45-pound PCH shooting a 580 grain total weight arrow. Let me turn that hat around backwards. 178.8. Okay, let's give it shot number 2 here. .7, so 178, 181. Let's do one more. .164. Now that may have been me. I may have not got a good release. This bow then is shooting, if we take the 2 highest ones, it's shooting nearly 10 feet per second faster than the other one. Honestly, I think either one of them are sufficient for for hunting. I haven't done the math. Let's just do the math real quick and just see what kind of grains per pound we're getting. So we've got a 475 grain arrow on the 42 pound bow divided by 42. That's 11.3 grains per pound. 11.3. On the 45 pound, we got a 580 grain arrow divided by 45, 12.8. See, that thing's pushing 13 grains per pound. The other one's 11.3. Both of them very sufficient killing machines. So anyway, I hope this fall to be able to kill lots of stuff with both of them.